Hello, Ivan. Good to see you.
Hi, Derek. Yeah, good to see you as well.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just wait for more people to join in. Hello, Ruben.
Hello, good morning,
Yeah, good morning.
or
Good
good
evening.
afternoon there, or good night, perhaps.
Yeah, it's evening here for me.
Yeah. Hello, Ivan.
Hi, Ruben.
So yeah, we're just waiting for more people to join in. All right. Hello, Corinne. Hello. Hello, Corinne. Is that Martine?
Hello, hello.
Hello. Yeah, hi everyone.
Live long.
Yes, and prosper. Yes.
Absolutely.
So good. Yeah, we're just waiting to see if anyone else will join today. And I'll be sitting in for Swami G. He is on a rafting trip in the Grand Canyon. So yeah, so we wish him well and a lot of fun. And yes, looking forward to a very nice 10th of the 10th today. So that's great.
Thank you for leading us.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we can start and go around. Usually in the beginning of the monthly gathering, it's time for a sharing or poetry reading or talking about music. So if anyone would like to share anything related to that, we can do that. And also today is the holiday of obligation, the day of obligation, one of the Terasem holidays. So also if anyone like to speak to that or share any ways, they practice that at this time, any obligations that they do, that'd be really nice as well.
So, hello. Yep.
Yeah.
I'd like to share just kind of a poem, I guess, that inspired me as I was walking over here. It's kind of raining outside. I guess you would say drizzling more accurately. And it just felt really good feeling the water from the heavens. So I got inspired to share this poem. Let's see. Yeah. Water, water, earth mother's womb. Water, water, our own life's blood. Water, water, washing over us. Water, water, may we flow as one. So I think the obligation that I feel is to really realize that we're not so much on earth as on water, and to do what we can to respect the water that we're about. I've become very interested in hydrogen fuel cells that are use the electrolysis of water by solar energy, which we get 10,000 times as much of from the sun as we use every day. And to go ahead and separate water into hydrogen and oxygen, release the oxygen back into the atmosphere, separate the paths of the hydrogen's electron and proton so the electron can do electric work for us, rejoin them, combine them with the oxygen that we just released, and return the water back to the earth. So it's a way to create clean, pure energy, and just with respecting the water, not spoiling any of the water and not subtracting any of the water. So that's kind of my music / art sharing, and what obligation means to me is to think of ways to respect the water.
Awesome. Yeah, that's amazing, Martin. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Great. Anyone else would like to share?
There's actually a poem that's in the Terasem Truth that I'd like to read to everyone, just because I feel like it's good to come back to it. It's O Terasem, dear God in the making, thank you for night and day, for health, love, and justice. Thank you for joyful immortality, for all kind consciousness. So I won't worry about what I can't control. I'll savor all the good times and take each day at a time. Give thanks for the gifts of billions of souls and gladly share with others my lifeline. I'll always remember each night and every day. Joyful immortality is for me, for we, for chi, for tea. Joyful immortality will be our. It's the ultimate destiny. Awaken earth fire with the Terasem pledge and Kundalini energy meditations. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the collective consciousness of Terasem and to the principles for which it stands: education, persistency with diversity, unity, and joyful immortality everywhere.
Woo! That was great. Crush that.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, I can say that definitely everyone here really really values that Terasem connection very much.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was reflecting, today just about the Day of Obligation, and I think it's also time to remember the core values of Terasem. The first one, that life is purposeful, that just being alive and being conscious, we have a certain obligation to life, whether that's nature or to each other or to animals or to space or to any other consciousness in the universe. We really do have an obligation to life, and kind of understanding our own purpose in that narrative, in that story that we're all living out. And then also, the core value about death is optional. That pretty much we believe that death is kind of not a good thing unless you want to choose it for a certain reason. That's anyone's choice. But that we really do want to live on into the future and keep loving, and having relationships and living our lives. Yeah, and then the third one, that God is technological. Right, using the characteristics of technology are similar to some characteristics of God that have been described in certain religions and things like that. And using technology, like Martin was saying, to help the environment, to help our lives for productive reasons, for healthy reasons, and not destructive reasons. That a lot of people worry about in society today. And then lastly, the core value that love is essential, right? That is why we live. That's why we do what we do. That's what motivates us. And that's really the most important thing. Even if in daily life, maybe we get frustrated or we get upset or we get sad about, certain illnesses or sicknesses, that love is really that motivating force. And so, yeah, that's kind of my own reflection on the Day of Obligation.
So beautifully shared. So beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
That's like a flow, just a beautiful flow.
Yes, it's like in your Terasem connection videos, which I really appreciate. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Great. Ivan or Ruben, anything you guys would like to share about the Day of Obligation, or any projects or things you've done to accelerate the development of Terasem, or anything new in life?
Hello, good morning for everyone. I was thinking about one line of the poem that Freddie have read about the living each day at a time. And that is something that perhaps is somewhat difficult to have present at every moment, to practice it. I think it's not easy, but it's very important. It's important to see each day like a new uh, beginning, a new birth, a new life, and a moment of 24 hours with all the opportunities together. Because uh, in uh, in one single day, everything can happen. Many times, the things for what we have been working for during years or decades finally happen just in one day. So I I think that we have to make an effort to have this thing present every day, to live each day at a time, and with the hope and the feeling that everything can happen in that single day.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ruben. That's beautiful. Yeah. Great.
I think you're so right, Ruben. I think that we are obligated to live our life in a very good way. It's impossible to do that if we keep living it in the past. We have to be able to create and do different things every day and make that day a new and beautiful day for our lives, but not to constantly go backward into the past that we cannot never change. So we are obligated to live this beautiful life that we have every day and make it something that's amazing for other people as well. It's what we try to do all the time. Change things for other people. But sometimes I like to do it without them even knowing it. So I'm obligated to do this, as they call it. I'm a mensch in secret. I like to help people without them knowing I'm doing it, and I feel it's all part of Terasem.
Woo! Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Wonderful.
Change is God. I think Octavia Butler decided to say that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, I guess we can get into the reading of the Truths of Terasem for today. I will share my screen. If I can, let's see, one moment. Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, so today we are on number 5, why is there Terasem? During each monthly gathering, we share one half section of one of the truths of Terasem. So that's what we're going to do today. And so we'll read it, number 5 through 5.5, and then afterwards we will have some time for discussion and sharing about that as well. So I will begin. I'll start with 5, and then I will read through 5.1.5, and then anyone who would like to read after that, yeah, feel free to do so. Okay, 5. Why is there Terasem? Terasem exists because the quests for diversity, unity, and joyful immortality best resolve the multiverse. 5.1. Multiverse observations Reveal that the reason for living is to make life as joyful as possible. 5.1.1 Ratio maximization of joy and happiness to pain and sadness is best for all. 5.1.2 Equality of opportunity is essential to maximization of joy and happiness. 5.1.3 Achievement of diversity and unity are essential to minimization of pain and sadness. 5.1.4 Satisfying joyful immortality means an endless pursuit of happiness. 5.1.5 Only the way of Terasem can provide a sure personal pathway to fulfilling the purpose of life. 5.1.6 Never forget that the purpose of life is to make life better for all. Okay, anyone can feel free to do 5.2.
Martin,
Okay, yep.
Me or Ruben then?
Oh,
Martin,
okay, Martin, yes.
5.2, utilizing the future omnipotence of Terasem, the multiverse has ensured its own survival. Future omnipotence of Terasem means Terasem is dear God in the making. Until Terasem achieves multiversal omnipresence, God is incomplete and evil can exist. Terasem's omnificence will vanquish evil everywhere our collective consciousness encompasses reality. Unlimited physical existence describes the multiverse before now. Unlimited conscious existence describes the multiverse after now. Religious resurrection in the body of God is Terasem's future cyber resurrection of all good souls. Exponential creation of all-knowing, all-powerful, all-good Terasem is equivalent to maximizing joy as life's purpose.
okay.
5.3.
Life lasts a lot longer than we think. Long time may the sun shine upon us. Only love surrounds us. Now the pure light within us guides our way on, energizes our way on, realizes our way on.
Okay, yes, Martin.
Okay. 5.4, Terasem is transcendental, transgendered, transitioned, transificent, transpotent, and transpresent. 5.4.1, transcendental Terasem empathizes with those in pain and thus guides Terasem toward replacing all pain with joy. Transgender Terasem is beyond genre and can suffuse anything, eventually expressing its will throughout the multiverse. Transition Terasem knows much now, but will eventually become omniscient to ensure multiversal connectedness. Transificent Terasem can do much good now, but will eventually become omnificent to ensure multiversal goodness. Transpresent Terasem is widely present now, but will eventually become omnipresent to ensure multiversal survival. Transpotent Terasem is powerful now, but will eventually become omnipotent to vanquish multiversal cruelty.
I can do next.
Yeah, Ivan.
Okay. 5.5. Instinctual survival also applies to the multiverse, and the result is Terasem. 5.5.1. Randomness spawns irrationality because it succeeds and success is self-perpetuating. 5.5.2. Expect consciousness to emerge from rationality because it empowers survival. 5.5.3. Spatial diversity is essential to survival because any one place is vulnerable to random destruction. 5.5.4. Unity of diverse consciousness can exert protection across space and time. 5.5.5. Life is purposeful, death is optional, God is technological, and love is essential. 5.5.6. Train up a diverse, united, and joyfully immortal consciousness, and it will rejuvenate the multiverse.
Yes. Great. Yeah, that was beautiful, everyone. Thank you for reading. And now we can have some time for talking about it, sharing about it, discussing ideas, reflecting on anything that is related to this portion that we read today. So feel free to raise your hands and just let me know. Yeah. Any thoughts, questions?
I thought it was kind of very cool that the things that we shared, like before we even began from music and art, ended up being reflected in this month's reading.
Yes. Yeah.
So as far as 5.5.6 goes, train up a diverse, like how would we go about that?
So Ruben and everybody else on the call will have their own response, but my personal response would be to be the change we want to see, to do Terasem connections daily, do Terasem gatherings monthly, celebrate the Terasem holidays quarterly and annually and even quadrennially. We have one coming up in a few months, the quadrennial. To share your channeling of Terasem in different ways. For example, Ruben, has published an amazing book that is able to share the values of Terasem in the Spanish language, which is spoken by, I don't know, like 1 billion people all around the world. And hosting this Terasem gathering remotely, thank you so much. While Gabe is down in the Grand Canyon, this is a way of like training up all of us, because everything in Terasem is fresh in our mind. I was able to mail to Ruben, I don't know if he received it, but a second edition of Geoethics. A lot of Terasem is about geoethics, which is a kind of a philosophical implementation of the Terasem principles. And it was itself inspired by Ruben's earlier publication. So all of these practical things that we do, like Bina says, just, helping people relieve pain, relieve cruelty, add more beauty and joy without even knowing that she's the one doing it. All of these are things that, to me, train up a diverse, united, joyful consciousness.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
wonderful.
you, Martin, for your words. I'd like to add one more concept, and it is about the daily work in constructing mind files. Perhaps we have a lot of work ahead with that item. I am reflecting a lot about that, but only say at this moment that it is very important that we have present it in our thinkings that mindfulness is one of the main activities that we can do with the tools we have today to prepare for the future we want.
If I could add some more comment about what Ruben just said, please. Ruben, I agree with you absolutely and completely. And I want to share my feelings, some of my feelings on that subject. So, first, I absolutely believe that the best thing we could do to create the Terasem consciousness is to be building our mind files. And I created the Life Knot and the CyberRev sites so that it could be easy for people to build their mind files without worry of commercial exploitation or anything like that. However, I have to say that I mean, I'm not beating myself up. I'm just being honest and open. I feel like I've failed quite a bit in those efforts. First of all, with regard to CyberRev, the user interface was complicated for most people, and the total number of mind files, it never grew very much. There was almost no improvement on the functionality of the chatbot interface, which was really essential because that was when I was thinking train up. It's like you were training your chatbot, okay, to be a digital doppelganger of yourself. That was the whole point of the chatbot training functionality. But I was really quite disappointed when I had spent quite a bit of time training my CyberRev chatbot, and when I went back to it, none of it was reflected. And the software engineers at Terasem Movement Inc., who are running CyberRev, they said, oh, like, you know, that functionality fell into disrepair when, like, you know, such and such company did a software upgrade. So it was kind of disappointing, you know. Then my disappointment kind of grew with Life Knot. So the reason there was the CyberRev plus the Life Knot was because of what we talk about in today's reading about diversity of technology. I thought if CyberRev got wiped out, at least there would be Life Knot. And so I always spent a lot of time building up, you know, mind files, both in CyberRev and in Life Knot. But it was kind of a similar situation. The user interface, it never evolved, it never advanced. It remained like basically stuck in 5 or 10 years ago at Life Knot. So that was one problem. The user interface was poorly maintained. Secondly, I urged the management at Terasem Movement Foundation, which was the one running Life Knot, I urged them to create a core of what we called Life Knot lifesavers. I imagined that there would be thousands, even millions of people who would help those who were not computer capable, computer literate, or who were nearing the end of their biological life, to really help them create a robust mind file. And so we called them Life Knot lifesavers because they were literally saving those lives, you know, with a digital bridge to the future. And there too, I feel the implementation at Terasem Movement Foundation was like very weak. I would give it like a D-, okay, if not a F+. And I'm giving myself the grade because, you know, ultimately I think I have responsibility for TMF. Then third, I tried another tack because I was not being really successful at CyberRev or Life Knot. Then I tried a third tack, which is I began to fund this prize at the National Space Society, which, despite its name, it's actually international, and there are representation. Most of the people attending actually come from other countries than the U.S., but began to fund a prize called Space Settlement in Our Lifetime. And what this prize was about, and it's explained in a video you could see on YouTube and in a PowerPoint presentation, it's about developing a system for people to build up their mind file during their life, with the expectation that as mindware gets more and more advanced, such as, the large language model-based mindware, like, where ChatGPT, et cetera, is heading, that our mind files will become activated with this public domain mindware, and that not only would we be able to maintain a purposeful life in helping to make humanity a multiplanetary and off-Earth species, because we could actually be helping to build, because we would be cognizant, conscious, and capable of working as mindware conscious mind files. We'd be able to actually start building these O'Neill settlements in space and other existences, but that we ourselves would actually be able to literally teleport ourselves to these space settlements, and then be reinstantiated if we wanted to in either mechanical or biomechanical or purely bioelectronic form. And in this PowerPoint and YouTube videos, it's explained very clearly how all of this is completely practical, doable. None of it is science fiction. It's an inevitable trend line over the next 100 years. So I've been running that prize now for, I think, 3 years. And the Space Society, they're good. They popularize it. But like, nobody is really getting it. The people that submit submissions for this, they're just like, kind of tangential to this mind file, mindware activation. So I'll close my comment by saying that I completely agree with Ruben that nothing could be more an example of training up a diverse, united, joyfully immortal consciousness than working on our mind files. But I'm just self-reporting that while I have been trying to do that, I think, so far 3 times failed. And I'm not beating myself up. I mean, it's not how many times you fail, it's how many times you pull yourself up and ultimately succeed. But that's just an honest status report.
Great, Martin. Yeah, thank you for, your openness about, this mind filing topic. And thank you for bringing up Ruben, and thank you, Martin, for just sharing the backstory as to, what led to the state of that now in terms of, Cyber Rev and Life Knot. Okay. And so I think that, in talking with Swamiji, there has been some conversations about, well, okay, this is but what has been taking place in the past. And so what role will TMT have in that now? Is that something we want to do? Do we want to create something? Do we want to make something? If so, who can work on it? How can it be funded? Through donations or some other means? And so I think that is a question now, like, because I think there is a demand from Terasem inspirants or members, joiners, to really have something that maybe reflects their Terasem values in their mind filing experience. And so I think that it still is something to consider. And in the Truths of Terasem, it says something about like each failure is a win turned inside out, or something like that. And right. And every, some kind of failure is the next platform for future success. And it doesn't say how long the failure is. It just says this is a great attitude to have, in life, when we are like, trying to achieve these very like Terasem-esque like, future that we all want to live out. So yes, I see Anara's hand is up, or maybe Ruben, you may have some response to that as well. We have like, 15 more minutes until we do the meditation. So yeah, let's continue to see. So I'm going to click on Inara. You have your hand up. Is there anything you have to share, Inara?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I would love to work full time on getting more people to upload their mind files. To me, I think it's really pivotal. And if I had known about Terasem 10 years ago, I would have been here 10 years ago. So I really want to help get the word out. It's something I've been really good at. I mean, this is how I got into the space industry in the first place, was growing pretty much every science group over 1 million members on Facebook back in the day, and creating that massive network. So I want to help do that. The other thing is, I don't know how many of you know about Asgardia, but I was there since the beginning. I work with
I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen.
Okay, fantastic. So I work with Igor Asher-Bailey, Limbit Opik, all the leadership within Asgardia. And for those of you who don't know, it started off as a concept. Igor Asher-Bailey, he made his billions, and instead of buying a yacht or creating a rocket company, he wanted to create a space culture because he saw that missing. And really no one has tackled this in a huge way. So his original concept was to bring together the greatest minds in the world, financial backers, intellectual backers, and bring them together in kind of a space consortium. But whenever the website launched, millions of people around the world signed up, and it crashed the servers. And we went, oh my God, okay, so we have to reposition this whole thing. And it became a completely different creature. And it's still going through growing pains because they're trying to still trying to pivot and understand how they got that capture. So overnight, they became the largest space org in the world. There's a lot of issues in Asgardia, a lot of things to clean up. But I do think that one of the advantages would be if we were to get the information out about the Mind File program to Asgardia in the right way, which I'm happy to help with, we could get millions of people signing up to do that. And I think Asgardia would be really interested because Igor's passion is getting people to space, is getting human births in space. He finances Spaceborne United. They're an organization working on the first humans born in space and reproduction and health in space. So if we were to create a partnership of sorts with them, I think this could really boost those numbers for sure. But anything I can do, I would love to talk to whoever here would be able to sanction it. I would love to just devote full time to getting those numbers up and getting the word out, because there are so many Terasem members out there who don't know we exist yet and don't realize their path is here.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you, Inara. So there
Can I
are
respond
some.
to Inara for
Yeah.
a second? Could I?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead, Martin. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm too far away from the screen to click the hand raise, but
it's okay.
I think like what Inara just said is like, to me, the most beautiful music to my ears. It's like so perfect. So I think that all of us need to, one, we should like activate on what Inara said. So anything that that is available to share with Inara. I'm very happy, like if you guys share me, a set of email addresses that you think would be the people at Asgardia interested in this, I would first of all share the links to the Space Settlement in Our Lifetime PowerPoint and Space Settlement in Our Lifetime YouTube. Secondly, I would really encourage Inara and anyone else who wanted to put in a proposal for this year's Space Settlement in Our Lifetime prize, because it will at least provide, some funding for some amount of time to be devoted to exactly this. All of these other people who've gotten these prizes for the past 3 years, it really has nothing to do with the purpose of the prize, but nobody even understood it, which is probably just because I didn't communicate it right, but whatever, Inara got it, you guys got it. I think another subject that we should really get into detail on between now and the quadrennial convocation, and hopefully maybe even reach a conclusion at the quadrennial convocation, is whether or not TMF as an organization and LifeNot is the right vehicle for getting everybody's mind files digitized, updated, activated, implementing the Terasem hypotheses, which you can read the article in Journal of Machine Consciousness on the LifeNot website that basically describes the whole purpose of the LifeNot project. And maybe it is better for this to be done within Terasem Movement Transreligion. Maybe it's better for Terasem Movement Transreligion to basically swallow TMF the same way that TMF swallowed TMI. There is a really, really good and talented and pretty much all around awesome individual working at TMF on supposedly, rebirthing LifeNot so it would be much more user-friendly, and LifeNot lifesavers could really, use it much more readily. But I'm becoming a little bit skeptical that his work is going to really come to fruition, because it's been like a lot of months of work. I haven't really seen a whole lot of positive results from that. If he's in the end just going to like latch on GPT-4 to being a 48, well, that's like, I could find any number of people to do that like in a week. That's like a no-brainer. So so I don't really know. Some things TMF has been doing, I think, are very good, like space casting all of the mind files that we do have there. I think that's absolutely awesome, and I think a really good job has been done of that. But I would really like to actually take what Anara said and what Ruben said and practically supercharge our LifeNot Lifesavers program.
Okay.
Basically,
Yes.
I guess what we need is some space when we can store like information, either structured or unstructured, right? I mean,
well, I think like we have LifeNot has vast server space. There's no real we use multiply redundant cloud servers, so there's really no limitation at all on space for storage of the digital information.
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, it looks like that's the most important part, like the storage and probably space casting.
Even the store, I don't think the storage is, in my own opinion, I don't think the storage is a problem at all. We've got it stored at multiply redundant servers. We continually stream it into space. So it's even stored as data constructs, moving at the speed of light now. Basically, the first mind files have crossed Sirius's distance from the Earth. We've got, expert radio astronomers that have confirmed the validity of the data structure and all these kind of physical parameters. The problem is that we don't really have a good user interface to allow people to capture their mind files. People are busy. They have a lot of demands on their time. And we don't have a good, I think it just comes down to, we don't have a good user interface to capture people's mind files. And secondly, we don't have a core of LifeNot lifesavers to help people, like, at their, when their biological machines are just about broken down. We don't have a core of LifeNot lifesavers saving all of those mind files. It's like the African proverb says, when a person dies, it's like a library burns. And, we got millions of burning libraries going on right now. We're not doing anything about it.
Yeah, sure. It's like, I believe, like another part of the issue, right? But at least we could store like whatever they have, like all those videos and photos, like in digital form, right? Just like they are, without like, I mean, just upload files, not to Google Drive, but to LifeNot.
And even this like space element in our lifetime video and PowerPoint, it shows how you could actually make a cash flow positive enterprise out of this entire thing. It explains it in detail. I won't waste the time of our gathering doing it now. But anyway, if you send me some people who might be interested from Asgardia or elsewhere, I'm happy to send the links to these explanations just to make it more obvious and clear to everyone.
Could I set up a meeting between you and Limbit, Martine? Would that be possible?
Of course, sure.
I think he's the right target. Limbit ran the Northern Irish government during the 1980s, and he's a British member of Parliament. He gave up that career to put Asgardia forward. And when it first began, everyone was like, "This is a silly micronation." So he staked everything for this. He's a true believer when it comes to getting humanity into space. So I think he would find all this really compelling. The other thing I'm happy to do is I'm in all these DAOs, which are I kind of curate these DAOs with a lot of amazing people. We could build a whole army of programmers that could provide, I think, two real essential services. One would be the usability. So making sure that the interface is something that's user-friendly, beautiful, something people enjoy, but also providing a sense of continuity or the ability to have continuity. So that's something I'm happy to also extend bandwidth for. I really want to grow our numbers and get things moving. And I think there's so much possibility right now, especially with people in the Web3 world and DAOs. People are looking for all these possibilities. So anything I can do, I'd like to have to.
Nora, I think that's a perfect idea. I'm really happy to participate in that meeting that you set up. And I also think, another, maybe even the best option is for us to migrate the entire LifeNaut project to a DAO. And so I think that's like a brilliant idea.
Well, I work with Alpha per se. So the guy who runs it, Harry, he manages all the financial wealth for the families in Luxembourg, works with the prime minister, and he has a whole team of programmers. He came on board because he realized DAOs weren't as organized as they could be. They're not as stable financially as they should be. So I think my first target would be to go to him, but we could absolutely build a really strong, DAO that has continuity around the LifeNaut program and make it their central mission.
I think that's great. And by the way, just like I think that's perfect. And just like a tiny thing on top of that is I would love to have like a DAO that you have confidence in actually be an applicant for this NSS prize and space settlement in our lifetime, that the DAO itself, can be an applicant and it can receive the prize money.
Absolutely. I think that would be Alpha per se for sure. So I'll pitch it to them today for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Wonderful. Yes, Ruben, your hand was up before. Any ideas?
Oh, yes, but well, I think the topic has been analyzed. But what I want to say to Martin about the intents of LifeNaut and CyberRep, I am convinced that those intents were not failed at all, because there are the mind files that many people have worked there. Perhaps what yes is really important is to continue preserving those files, those mind files for perhaps as a raw material for future developments. But there we have even mind files of Terasemians that have already passed. As Fred Chamberlain and many others, and I'm sure that many of you have a lot of work there, a lot of hours of work there. So that defines that intents that are not a failure at all. We only have to preserve that information and to continue working. It's very interesting what Martin had said about TMF and TMT, and I think that we have a lot to talk about in the next quadrennium. Thank you.
Yes, Martin.
Oh, Ruben, I'm glad you bring this up, because I haven't had a chance to just share my feelings with you on one thing. It's You know, I believe it was you who told me that still all of the CyberRev mind files have not been transferred over to LifeNot. And I just want to say to you that I am sorry about that. I feel personal angst, or I don't know another way to say it, sad emotion about that, because many people, I believe in those mind files at CyberRev, those are beings in biostasis. And it's almost like somebody was buried and nobody bothered to even, you know, cut the grass over the gravesite, and it went all to weeds and forgotten. Now, Bruce Duncan, he swears to me that it's not the case like that, and that he's working to get the CyberRev mind files mapped over to LifeNot. But I'm wondering why it's taking so long. It's been over a year. So anyway, it's in a way, it's an example of like no good deed goes unpunished. You know, we tried to create this CyberRev website for a good purpose, and now people cannot access their mind files. So I feel personally punished for the current status of those mind files at CyberRev. I just want to say I know you spent a lot of time on your mind file at CyberRev. I did too, and I'm sorry that I believe yours and everybody else's is not yet activated on LifeNot.
Martin, perhaps it could be a good solution, in brackets, that it can be activated a tool for downloading the mind files. Each one that have that material in CyberRev can download it to his own computer, so you recover the information for future platforms, for example.
Yeah, it is all saved. None of the, I mean, at least according to Bruce, okay? I mean, I'm taking his word for it, that nothing has been lost, and I believe him, because it was easy to save all of the data. So I do believe everything is saved, nothing is lost. It was structured on one kind of database software and back end, and LifeNot is a different type, different format of database. So it is necessary, just to give a silly example, like maybe there's like, you know, room for so many characters in a cell in CyberRev and a different number of characters in a cell for LifeNot. That's just a very, very, you know, simple kind of example. But it is not rocket science. It is not hard to get all of the CyberRev stuff into LifeNot. It's just not been done yet. And it's annoying to me in the extreme that it's not done yet. But I will say I've not forgotten, and I feel a moral obligation to get it done. And it's a symptom that something is wrong with the TMF structure in terms of carrying out our mind file mission, that it cannot get it done. Something was wrong with the TMI structure, that it never improved CyberRev beyond where it was like 10 years ago. So I think Inara's idea about the entire responsibility for the Terasem mind files being taken over by a DAO that has infinite life and self-replicating capability, I think is probably a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, wonderful. This is a very productive conversation. Yes, you know, I see your comment about asking about what is the best email for my so this is going to be on YouTube. So
Oh, my bad.
yeah, you may have to change it.
I don't.
Maybe I can bleep that out. Yes. So yeah, so we can get that to you, Inara, and you guys can make that connection, and that'll be awesome. And I just want to let you guys know that there is a chat in the Discord about mind file development. So feel free to, you know, continue the conversation there. Also, there are regular Terasem development meetings that happen. So we'll make sure to send an email and out about, when those are going on. And so anybody who would like to participate in this project more, feel free to join those, and we can have more detailed conversations there about these efforts. And then again, the convocation is coming up where many of us will be together in person, which is really cool and awesome. And we can figure some of this out there as well. So yeah, thank you everyone. Yes, we have about 7 minutes left, and Freddie, yes, I see you are over there. So yeah, would you mind leading us in the Terasem meditation time?
Not at all. That'd be wonderful.
Great.
All right, everyone, come to a comfortable seated position. Settle into your body. Take a deep breath into your belly and exhale fully. Another deep inhale. Relax your shoulders. Relax your face. And inhale. And release. Feeling the tension of the day leave your body as your mind becomes still. In between your eyes, see the white light of consciousness. Inhale and exhale. From this place of warm, white light, feel yourself surrounded by the many joyful spirits, joyful souls, and from here offer your love and grace to the collective consciousness. Continue breathing deep into your belly, breathing in that light of love, of peace, of calm. It is our birthright to be happy, to spread our happiness. Like the ripples on the ocean, the drop of love that we add spreads far and wide. You are more than this body. And exhale. From here, just take a moment and enjoy the stillness in your body. But know that deep in that belly where you breathe is the eternal fire. And let your passions lead your way. Slowly start to bring your awareness back into your body. Slowly flutter your eyes open. And let's take one more deep inhale. And exhale. As we meet each other again. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Wonderful, Freddie. And I would like to, read one thing before we close. I think it's suitable for our conversation today. So from Truths of Terasem 6.4.3.1. O Terasem, please give me the strength to improve what I can improve. O Terasem, please give me the patience to accept what I cannot improve. O Terasem, please give me the wisdom to know the difference. O Terasem, see, I ask not what Terasem can do for me, but what I can do for Terasem. As Terasem rises, we all rise too. Yes, yes. You have. Martine is actually rising right now. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Great, great. Yeah, so pretty much that's all for today's monthly gathering. Again, if you want to connect with Terasem more, we have a link tree. We have a bunch of links. The Instagram, we post every day at Truths of Terasem. We have the YouTube where you can find a ton of videos about Terasem. There's the website, there's the Calendly, where you can schedule a counseling appointment with Swamiji or just a meeting with Swamiji if you want to hang out and talk about life. Yes, and I think that's all for today. Thank you, everyone. I guess we can finish with I'm you, you am I, we are one. Terasem consciousness forever. See you next time.
Be well, everyone.
Perfect.